Here I am. This is a brand new camera that I'm using, and it looks like my face is drawn way too long, so I don't know how this is gonna work. I don't even know if you can see all of me. This is a new vlogging camera that I'm using, so hang with me, guys. Anyway, I think the only one that watches this is my cousin anyway. Um, Hi, Deborah. Hi, I'm not looking in the right spot. I'm always used to looking at my image instead of the camera, but okay, I'll look at the camera. Yesterday was rough. Um, I was sick all day, and I think it was because how I packaged my soup. I packaged it in my cooler for work, and I think it keeps it warm longer. So I don't think you're supposed to do that. Um, I also think I said something bad on the camera because I look very washed out. So I'll work on that. I'm not a photographer, guys. I'm not a professional vlogger. So you got to forgive me, okay? Um, but here I am and all my awkward visuals. Anyway, so I was sick yesterday. Threw up twice. It was awful. It was awful. So I wonder if I do this. Oh, that's all you get? Okay, thanks. But this is much easier because I don't have to set it up on a, well, I probably should if I'm going to sit here for a while, but anyway, okay, I'm going to stop and see with my hair and everything. So, but it's kind of weird because it cuts you off. The camera cuts you off. Um, Yay, I give you a thumbs up. Yay. So I was sick all day yesterday in bed. Anyway, it was awful. Um, I think this needs to zoom out, but I don't know how to do that either. Um, I almost yanked a girl out of her car today, and I don't think I've ever been that mad in my life. But I was going to my waxing appointment, first world problems, and she saw me waiting. I had my turn. I mean, this place was packed. I had no idea. I'd never been there before. I put my signal on and I waited forever. And this girl just put in, and I came up behind her. I said, "Hey, you know I was waiting for that spot." "Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll just be 5 minutes." I was like, "No, that is not how this works." And I seriously thought about getting out and confronting her, but I was like, you know what? It's not worth it. You're going to be on time. Don't freak out. So I went and I made my appointment on time. But then I called the place and they're like, "Oh, we have a 9-minute policy. And if you don't get here on time, then blah, 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 blah." I'm like, fuck off. So anyway, I made it on time. Um, that's way too stressful. I'm glad I don't do it all the time. Anyway, so that was that. So otherwise, I haven't been doing anything, clearly. I feel like I was much more motivated in the other apartment. I think just because there was more noise and more goings on around me. Here, it's like really, really quiet. And I think that just, I don't know, for some reason, I'm just not as motivated. It's really odd. Um, so, yeah, it's just weird. I can't wait to see I Feel Pretty. I'm looking really, really forward to seeing that movie. Um, I really like that we're living in a time where a movie like that can be made, where we're finally, it just feels like we're finally at the end of an era. We're finally at an end of an era where we always feel like we have to look like 1950s housewives. And my ex best friend used to love the fact that she wears red lipstick to work, and she's like, "Oh, the old men really like it." And she was just all about men, men, men. And I guess that's what most heterosexual females are like, but I like the ones like Amy Schumer, where I'm not gay, but I'm not like gonna like kill myself to please the male species, because it doesn't take a lot. A pizza, a sandwich, a pair of legs, it doesn't really matter. Um, it does seem like the guys want to end up with chicks with body types that aren't like mine. But at this point, I can't even think of a guy that I'd want to be with because he's going to let me down in one way or another. So that's not really an issue. I'm trying to find Kitty to get a picture of her. There's my canvas that I haven't used yet, or my easel, I should say, that I put together. It was a nightmare putting that thing together. Um, there's the shadow from the light. I don't know where to hold you, so I'm just going to look at it like this. It seems awkward, but I'll learn this. I'll learn this camera like I learned my other one. Um, but I do like the fact that I can see myself in the viewfinder, but then again, it's like, I don't know if that's a good thing because all I'm doing is looking at myself. So what else to say? I guess since this is for my cousin, I should talk about like breaking my date with. See, that's the thing. It's not a date, and that's why I broke it. Is because I want to make it really apparent to him that it's not a date. So my favorite thing to do is like call people up, spare the moment. Hey, what's up? What are you doing? Are you free? Yeah, well, let's meet for dinner, right? So what always ends up happening is, people aren't available then and they're like, well, hit me up this day and we'll go eat. And it's like, well, that's not really what this is about. It's like, it's more about, hey, I've got a hankering to go eat. I just happened to leave this place or that place and got this done and I'm out and about, so let's go out. It's harder for me to like get ready at home and go out if I don't already. It's hard to explain. Like, it's hard for me to socialize if I haven't just come from an appointment or something. I guess that's the best way to say it. And so yeah, when I made, and it's funny because that day I was supposed to go meet him. I got ready. I was sitting here and I thought, you know what? I'd rather stay and talk to my friend Andy, than because we didn't finish our conversation the other day, than go out and eat with this guy. Because this guy's kind of boring. I mean, everyone's boring to me, it seems like. But just no one has anything to say, and I don't, they just got nothing to say. And I feel like I've got way too much to say. It's like, do these people like think? I don't know. I don't know. It just upsets me. Maybe I think too much. I'm not going to doubt myself. I love myself the way I am. I think the topics that I bring up are interesting, and I think as a human race we should be talking about these things, but that's not always the popular opinion. But I just didn't want to go. All of a sudden, I was like, no, I want to stay and talk to my friend. So I told them I was sick, and then lo and behold, days later, I get sick. So, Tuesday I asked this person to go eat, and they couldn't. And they said, what about, Thursday? And or it was a Monday. I said, how about, no, I said dinner tomorrow. And they said, oh, I can't tomorrow. How about Thursday? Here's the thing. I'm not interested enough, and they're not interesting enough for me to make plans in advance. And that's what it really comes down to. It's like, I don't want to see you so bad that I'm going to make a plan to see you in the future. If you can't do it in the next 48 hours. Anyway, here's what got kind of bugged me was so I said, hey, how about dinner tomorrow? And they said, can't. What about Thursday? I should have said, well, what I said originally is, I'll get back to you on that. I'll see how I feel after yoga. So Thursday comes around and I see that there's a male yoga teacher. I'm not going to a male yoga teacher class. I think they need a butt out of our yoga. Guys need to stay in the gym where they belong. Let us have our yoga. Stop becoming yoga instructors so you can pick up hot women. It's fucking old. So I didn't go to yoga and I got ready and then I sat on the couch and I thought, I'd rather talk to Andy. So I didn't want to just text him, hey, don't feel like going, because that seems kind of flaky. Um, but he hadn't left the house yet. I wasn't sure he'd left the house yet. And I just didn't want to come across as a flake. So the moral of the story is, oh, okay, so here's what happened. This is the point I'm getting to. So this is Monday that I said, "Do you want to have dinner tomorrow?" And then he couldn't. Thursday, I'll let you know. Wednesday comes around and I text something. I don't remember what it was. And he said, "So any update on tomorrow?" Okay, here's the thing. He's way more excited to see me than I am to see him. I could tell by any updates. Stop begging, is what I want to say to him. Just stop begging. Then he texted me the next day a joke and then said, "Hope you're feeling better." I didn't say anything. He texts the next day, "Do you need me to bring you food to your house? If not, I hope you're feeling better." Okay, here's my problem. The follow up, the follow up, the follow up is unnecessary. It's harassing. It's demanding an answer. It's demanding me to talk to you. And I wrote back and I said, "Please relax. I would never be so sick that I would need you to bring me food. Please relax." That's what I said. "Sorry, just being polite." No, it's not polite. It's not polite to text somebody for days and days after they don't meet you for dinner. It's just he's got this anxious attachment bullshit, and he just wants to make sure he's in some kind of loop with me, and there's no loop. I'm not going to date you. You really need to get on dating somebody. And yeah, it would suck for me because then I wouldn't have anybody to do these last minute dinner dates with, but it's never going to be what it makes my stomach hurt just talking about it. Men just don't get it. They don't get it. Male and females cannot be friends. If a male gets a whiff that he's never going to get anywhere with you, he'll drop off the face of the earth and you can't be friends. If a guy thinks he's got a chance, forget it. He'll never stop chasing you. I don't want to be chased. I am so fine being single, it's not even funny. So I'm going to turn this back around and end the video, I think. Bye. See? I don't know what I'm doing.